Hey guys, before we get deep into our exercise, I just want you to take a look at this sentence. Say it to yourself on screen. I would even encourage you to record yourself saying it for those of you who are able to see it because I want to highlight a really fundamental concept that doesn't just apply to American English, this actually can apply to your own language as well. And it's something I want you to begin thinking about because, when we say sentences, I know that we get so stuck on like, oh, I need to think of the words, I need to think of the grammar, I need to think of the vocab, I need to think about what I'm going to say next. And I'm adding to that list of things that I want you to kind of just be considering the next time you talk, again, in any language. So, we're going to be talking about a concept called thought groups, and I want to see how you're breaking down this sentence. Good morning, guys. Good evening. Good afternoon. Welcome to your daily American English pronunciation show. Wake up, American. We're here Monday through Friday, typically sometime between 7 8 a.m. to make sure that you can get in your 5 to 10 minutes of practice for today. And to guide you in this process, there is me. Hello, my name is Jeff. It rhymes with breath. It's one of the four keys to a natural sound in American English pronunciation, including placement, pitch, breath, and trying to weaken your consonant sounds and strengthen your vowels. Let's turn to our example sentence again. So I'm just gonna say it a couple different ways, and then you guys can kind of just determine which one did you use when you said it. The last time I actually made it there, I found out they had closed. Versus this. The last time I actually made it there, I found out they had closed. Versus something like this. The last time I actually made it there, I found out they had closed. Which one of those was different? Could you hear a difference in rhythm? If you couldn't, that's okay. That is something I want you to begin paying attention to. The big difference between them all is they had different numbers of thought groups. What are thought groups? Thought groups are groups of words that go together before your next group of words. That's kind of a key concept in terms of determining the rhythm of your sentences. And one of the things that I see frequently is that people who are learning American English or have learned it as a second language are often using shorter thought groups, which means that their sentences tend to have more thought groups in them. And I just want to kind of highlight how that impacts your rhythm. Because if I say something like, the last time I actually made it there, I found out they had closed, it's kind of a lot of stops, right? Versus if I say, the last time I actually made it there, I found out they had closed. And that is allowing you to flow more. There's not necessarily a right or wrong answer to this. There's a lot of subjectivity. There are times when native speakers will be talking and they may use shorter thought groups. And that's perfectly fine. Okay. But just a general challenge I have for you is to say, hey, do you think it's possible for you to just use, like, for instance, that was just one thought group, right? Do you think it's possible for you to just use, do you think it's possible for you to just use one thought group? Um, one fewer thought group on average when you say sentences? Think you can do something like that? Again, we got Milad in the house as well, hanging out with Emmanuel, which is cool. Um, This is also big because thought groups do a couple things. Every thought group in American English has a single primary stressed word. So, like, for instance, if I say, the last time I actually made it there, I found out they had closed. Part of the reason why that can end up sounding a little bit choppy is just because you have more thought groups. So, it means you have more stressed words. So that means that there's no runway. You're constantly kind of bobbing up and down in your sentence. The last time I actually made it there, I found out they had closed. So it's like it can almost give it like a song, like a sing-songy kind of quality. Um, it's not. In some cases, not necessarily the most pleasant thing to listen to for your listener. Okay. The other thing too is that if you're constantly stressing, then that means you're never really able to access some of the lower pitches that American English wants. You're never able to access some of the lower pitches that American English wants. Do you see how I'm able to kind of go down the lower pitches that American English wants? So I'm able to go lower in that thought group because my stress came earlier. Whereas if your thought groups are constantly being shortened, you're never giving yourself a lot of room to play around with the pitch level. So you're kind of getting stuck. And the worst case scenario is that we just end up sounding flat just because we just keep using the same range of pitches. Now, I do have some good news too. So if you're a person who is using the shorter thought groups, okay, that's fine. And you're having a hard time lengthening them, then something I would consider for you to try is to just make sure, again, something that we talk about a lot, when you change a thought group, you have to change your pitch level. Change your thought group, change your pitch. Change your thought group, change your pitch. Change your thought group, change your pitch. So, for instance, if we go back to saying the sentence with 4 thought groups, I'll try to demonstrate for you. So let's keep it basic for now. We're just going to start high, and in every thought group, we're going to move progressively lower and lower. I will demonstrate with my hand for those of you who can see it. Okay. So we're going to start high. The last time we're going to drop, I actually made it there. Now we're going to drop more. I found out. Now we're going to drop more. They had closed. The last time I actually made it there, I found out they had closed. So doing something like that does allow me to at least get some contrast in there, and it can still sound natural. What's up to Bertha hanging with us? So that's something that you can consider doing too. So that way you can still get a very natural sound. There's plenty of Americans who could say a sentence like that and it sound fine. Okay. But you have to make sure that, again, you're getting those pitch changes. The other thing I would say, too, is that as you're transitioning from thought group to thought group, that you're keeping that transition smooth. Don't pause too long between your thought groups. So don't be like, the last time I actually made it there, I found out they had closed. We don't want to do that. It's more like, the last time I actually made it there, I found out they had closed. Something like that is going to sound a lot more linked together. Thank you guys. If you guys have questions about anything I mentioned, be sure to let me know. I'm just going to take a moment to highlight a program because there's a change coming, and I just want to make sure that if someone is thinking about taking advantage of one of our offers but has been hesitant, then maybe this will kind of spur you on, because I don't want you to miss out. So we have a group coaching program called Mission English. We meet for 30 minutes a day, multiple times per day. Okay, so like Monday. Today we're meeting at 9:30, we're meeting at 1:30, and we're meeting at 7:30 p.m. These are all New York times. Okay, and we talk about this stuff: pitch changes, thought groups, stress, how to pronounce different sounds, things like that. All those points of confusion, any aspect of American English we talk about on the daily. These are all the things you need to sound natural that, unfortunately, I'll be honest, most other programs don't even mention, let alone spend a lot of time on. So if you want to practice those concepts, I encourage you to join us in our Mission English program. You can see the link to join below as well. The only problem is that price is going up. Okay, we really value what we offer, and we want you to take advantage if you're able. So on September 15th, we're in September now, prices are going up. So I need you to join if that's something that you're interested in. And as long as you stay in the program, that's the price you're going to pay. Okay, so if you want to take advantage of that opportunity, please try to do so before September 15th. All right, guys, I do have to head out. Thank you for taking a moment to listen to that, if you're still with me. Hope you guys have a good day, have a good night, and good afternoon. We'll be back tomorrow with more Wake Up American. Take care.